Hey math minions, here we are. It is another set of notes. Today, you're going to watch two videos again, and this time, they go together. The first video tells you how to set things up. The second video tells you how to graph it. So, first up is something called frequency tables. These notes are going to go on page 117. Here we go. So, a frequency table shows how often an item, number, or range of numbers occurs. Okay, and you can see that you have blanks to fill in on your note sheet. So there we go. Now, when using a range of numbers, the data is separated into equal intervals. And we already covered what an interval is, so you should have that in your brain already. Frequency tables can be used to make histograms, which is what the second video is going to talk about. It's going to show you how to make histograms, okay? It's very important for you to know this because when you graph your data on Friday, you are going to make a histogram. That's right. You're going to be using a box and whisker plot, a histogram, and then one other kind of graph of your choice. So, let's look at how to make a frequency table, shall we? I'm glad you asked. Here we go. Step one, you draw a table and label the columns. There's 3 columns that are always the same: tally, frequency, and cumulative frequency. Okay, there is a 4th column. It's the very first one, and that's where you put your intervals. Okay, and we're going to look at that. And then you're going to complete the table using your data. So let us look how this works out. First, with just some generic individual stuff, not even looking at an interval yet. All right. So let's say you did a survey, what's your favorite type of music, okay? And the answers came back, you've got rock, jazz, country, top 40, and rap. So we've got this lovely little list of all the responses, right? And we just use letters for what they are. So rock, jazz, country, top 40, rap. And then we have music. That's this column, so we label it that. This is the tally area. This is frequency, and this is cumulative frequency. All right, so when you go through your data, you count up, and you put a tally mark for each time this category happens, okay? So you could go 1 for P, and 1 for R, and 1 for F, okay? I just went ahead and took all my totals that I know I have, and I'm putting the tallies in, okay? So, for rock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's our frequency. There were 5 R's in the data, so there's 5 tally marks. That means my frequency is 5. How many tally marks? 5. Cumulative frequency means how many so far. Okay? So for this one, it's going to be the same. We've had 5 so far. Let's look at jazz. Jazz had 2. Okay? So that means our frequency for jazz is 2. And that means our cumulative frequency is 2 plus 5, which is 7. Okay? So 5 plus 2 is 7. Now, country, we got 3. So our frequency is 3, and we're going to add that 3 to our previous 7, which gives us 10. Top 40, we've got, woohoo, 8. Lots of people in this survey liked top 40. So we put an 8 in the frequency, and then we put 18 in the cumulative frequency because 8 plus 10 is 18. Last category is rap. We've got 7. So our frequency is 7. And then 18 plus 7 is 25. That is our frequency table. Okay? So when you're done, it should look like this. Now let's look at one that needs intervals, because a lot of times that's what's going to happen with a histogram. Okay? That's what you need to do with the histogram. We could do a standard bar graph with the previous one, but this one is intervals. All right? So these are winning Super Bowl scores, and we've got 20, 34, 23, 34, 31, and so on. I don't need to read them all. Okay? So we look, and our range, remember our range? We've got our smallest is 20 and our biggest is 55. So 55 minus 20 is 35, right? So, and it's actually what we do is you can't do it that way. Blah, 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 blah. If you have to go 55 to 20, that is going to be 36 numbers total because you count the 20, whereas you don't count it when you're subtracting it. So 20 to 55 is 36 actual numbers. So we're going to have 4 categories of 9 numbers each. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's 9 numbers. So the next interval has to also be 9 numbers. 29 to 37 are 9 numbers. And then the next interval has to be 9 more numbers. When we use intervals, they have to be the same amount. Okay? So, from all of our scores, how many scores were from 20 to 28? 6 of them. Okay? So our frequency is 6, and our cumulative frequency is also 6. From our data, how many scores were 29 to 37? 6. All right, so our frequency is 6, and our cumulative frequency is going to be 12. Gotcha? How many scores from our group are from 38 to 46? 5. Okay, so that means our frequency is 5, and then the 5 plus 12 means our cumulative frequency is 17. And then our final category, 57 to 55. Wow, I can't even type, can I? It should have said 47 to 55, so I apologize for that. I'm going to pause. There we go. Now it's magic. 47 to 55, and that would be 3. So our frequency is 3, and our cumulative frequency is 20. Okay, so this tells us total, we have 20 scores. There were 20 games. Cool, huh? So tally marks, frequency, cumulative frequency. Let's try one more. Temperatures. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of data here. Woohoo. So again, remember, I didn't do it for this one, for any of these, but if you put your data in order from smallest to biggest, it always helps make things easier when you're doing any kind of table or chart, okay? So if I had put this in order, it would be easier because I could just go from 100 to 105 because I counted how many I had, and then I divided it up. So I've got in each category or each interval, I have 6 intervals, okay? So from 100 to 105, I have 6. 5. I can't count. Boy, I'm tired. And my cumulative frequency is the same as my frequency for the first one. Now I've got 5, 10, 12. My frequency is 12. My cumulative frequency is 17. Okay? So from 112 to 117, it's getting really hot here. These must be like temperatures in Yuma or Death Valley or something. I've got 5, 10, 15, 16 is my frequency, which brings my cumulative frequency to 33. 118 to 123 degrees. Oh, got 14. Oh, so that brings it up to 47 for the cumulative frequency. 124 to 129 degrees is thankfully only 2. Goodness. So 2 for the frequency brings it up to 49. And then our final interval is 130 to 135 degrees. Only 1. And that would be 1 for the frequency and 50 for our cumulative frequency. All right? So, whoop, that's it for this video. You're going to move on to the next one. All right? See you later. Bye!